You can disagree with me all you want, but that doesn't mean you are interpreting the manufacturer recommendations appropriately. There is a huge difference between all the charts that say a minimum of 2 wire rope clips and you only need to use 2 wire rope clips. And that's not what a minimum means. A minimum means you need to use 2 or more. So there's no problem in adding a 3rd clip. In fact, I would call the first clip the real one that's doing the work, and all the other additional clips are safety in terms of wire rope clip usage. Some manufacturer may want to correct me on that, but that's how I interpret it. And if you notice on even the Crosby chart, it says some applications may require 3 or more clips. And another chart says overhead rigging may require more clips. And if you look at the chart for malleable clips instead of the chart for forged clips, it is a minimum of 3 clips for 1/4-inch cable. I've been working in theater for over 3 decades, and I have never seen an overhead line set that's rigged with wire rope clips that uses less than 3 clips for 1/4-inch cable. Let's use another example that we're all familiar with. The speed limit on a road may be 55 miles per hour. It may be 35. It may be 45. The posted speed limit doesn't mean I am always safe to go the speed limit. The posted speed limit is the safe speed limit under ideal conditions. And if it's raining, if it's at night, if it's foggy, if it's wet and slick and raining and foggy at night, then the safe speed is going to be lower than that. And if I adamantly insist that it's posted at 55, I'm safe to go 55, you're going to get a ticket. You could get in an accident. You could get injured. You could smash into someone else. You are doing an unsafe act. The guidelines are guidelines in ideal conditions. And in the same instance, the Crosby clamps or the wire rope clips or the saddle bolts, as recommended by the manufacturer, are an ideal condition. And that ideal condition is for a static load used in industrial applications and in construction industry applications. It's not necessarily the minimum that you need for dynamic loads with moving arbors and line sets and things that we do in theater. Every time we move one of these arbors, as this shifts, as we pull down on the rope, there's a slight increase in force both on the equipment on the line set and on the termination points up there at the top of the arbor. And every time we land and stop, there's another increase in force. So we are erring on the side of safety. We are increasing our safety design factor from industrial applications and the construction industry's standard of 5-to-1 safety factor to at least 8-to-1 or 10-to-1 design safety factor, because we have dynamic loads that are in motion, and as they're moving, they have variable amounts of stress. And I would just always use 3 wire rope clips, minimum. You're probably also one of those people that's going to say that's a safe working load for 1/4-inch aircraft cable is 1,400 pounds. And again, that is for industrial applications in the construction industry with a 5-to-1 design or safety factor. If I'm upping that to an 8-to-1 design or safety factor, I'm going to have to go back to my tensile or breaking strength. 1,400 pounds times 5 is 7,000. And I should confirm that that's actual tensile or breaking strength of the aircraft cable that I'm using. But I start with the 7,000, and now I divide that by 8, and my safe working load for all of my line sets for all of my 1/4-inch cable is now 875 pounds, not 1,400 pounds. If I up that to 10-to-1, my safe working load for my line sets is 700 pounds per cable. And usually my line sets have 4 to 6 or more cables. And then I have to do other calculations to determine how much of that overall load each one of those cables might be taking at any point. If it's 3 cables, we know that that center cable is carrying 66% of the load, and the 2 end cables are splitting 33%. So that means that using 875 pounds of my aircraft cable as my safe working load, if that's my weakest link in my system, then I have to make sure that 66% of the load on that arbor is not greater than 875 pounds. I'm going to stick with my recommendation of any overhead lifting, especially dynamic loads. You want to start with 3 wire rope clips in any application, just to make sure you're standing on the side of safety.